This is the 15th of May, and last night I discovered that the 15th of May is the feast day of St. Dymphna. So who was St. Dymphna? Well, Dymphna was born in the 7th century. Her mother was a Christian woman. We don't know her name because in those days women weren't considered important enough to have their names recorded. Her father was a pagan chieftain. His name was Damon. Now, all must have gone well until Dymphna was about 14 years old, and then her mother died. Now, her mother presumably was a great beauty and a lovely person, because when she died, Dymphna's father just totally lost the run of himself. Oh, he was quite mad with grief. He didn't know what to do with himself. And eventually his wise counsellors suggested the best thing he could do is to get himself another wife. Well, he looked around and he said to them, I will only take another wife if I can find someone, or if you can find me someone who is as beautiful as my own dear departed wife. Well, they tried, and they looked around and they brought all manner of candidates to him, and none of them was acceptable. But as he looked around, he noticed that Dymphna, at 14, now had some of the look of her mother. She really was growing into quite a beauty. And he decided he would marry Dymphna. Well, word got to Dymphna and she realised, I'm having none of this. She spoke to the priest who had been her mother's dear friend and counsellor. And along with the priest and the fool and 2 servants and a bag of gold coins, Dymphna ran away into the night. She travelled over the sea to where we now know as Belgium and settled in a place called Giel, and there she established a kind of a hospital. Now, that bag of gold coins proved to be Dymphna's downfall. Her father wasn't going to let her just run away. He followed and he tracked and traced her to Giel, because people here and there told him about the beautiful young woman who was using Irish coins to buy this and that along her way. When he reached them in Giel, again he demanded that she marry him. The priest came between them, and Dymphna's father slew him. And as he was trying to drag Dymphna away, and her still refusing, he drew his sword one more time and beheaded her. Poor Dymphna, a tragic tale. But there is Dymphna, now a saint, and a saint that is a patron for those surviving sexual abuse and incest. Also a saint of runaways, anxiety, nervous disorders, mental illness, but survivors. And Dymphna, well, she did the best she could at the time. She got herself out of a bad situation, took herself away, and was building a new life for herself. And that's what I would wish for anyone who found themselves in a similar situation.